Everyone, welcome to our sneak peek for the Focus Trade Mission to Chile on April 15th, 2026. We are joined by our activity coordinator, Shirley Acedo from Wisconsin, assistant coordinator, Cynthia Guven, and our esteemed in-market representative, Leonardo Silveira from Rivel Global. My name is Daniel Griffith. I am in the Chicago office of the Food Service. And the format of this is that everyone is muted and you are encouraged to ask questions at the end. So at this time, we'd like to mention that our organization is funded by Foreign Agricultural Service of USDA, and one of the programs that we help U.S. companies increase international sales is our trade mission. And now I'd like to hand it over to Leonardo.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Thank you, everybody, for attending this webinar. Good morning. I'm happy to be talking about a new trade mission to Chile. It's always a success. And we wish you all to take advantage of that mission and make sales to South America. So, as Daniel said, I'm Leonardo Silveira. I'm from River Global, which has been for over 10 years the market representative for food export in South America. We have been working mainly with Brazil, Colombia, Peru, and Chile, of course, and also some activities in Ecuador, mostly. Well, let's talk about Chile. We are here to learn why Chile. Why should you be thinking about exporting to Chile? What there is about this country. So, Chile is the southernmost portion of South America, but it's, as you see in the map in green in your screen, it's a pretty long country from north to south. It's a very interesting geography. Um, However, about there's a population of about 20 million, 19, 20 million people, but 40% of that population it's in the Santiago metropolitan region. Santiago, it's the capital of Chile. It's in the middle of the country. That's very convenient when you are introducing a new product into Chile because your logistics are made easier that way. Um, Chile has one of the highest GDP per capita in Latin America. It it quite often fluctuates with Uruguay in the first place. There are some variations here and there, but Chile for many years had been the highest, and it's one of the top three still. The economy it's pretty consistent. Chile is most likely the most developed country in South America. Um, the economy keeps on growing. It's a 2% expected for this year. And the US, it's a very strong trading partner with Chile. There is a free trade agreement on, so all goods originating from the US will access Chile duty free. And more than that, um, if we do not consider the neighbors, I'm talking about Argentina, I'm talking about Brazil, maybe Uruguay and Paraguay. So if we remove those that they have pretty easy access to Chile because of the proximity, their neighbor countries, the US is the one that comes next into the market share for food and beverage. So this is something, it's 11%, 12, it depends, but it's over 10%. This is a pretty considerable market share from the entire world. So we see in Chile, and it's a country that does trade agreements with many other countries. There's over 30 trade agreements with Chile, considering 65 countries. And still, removing the neighbors, US is the one that leads that. So Chileans, they like US products. This is something really interesting. There is even a retail chain in Chile that is focused only on American products. They call themselves American Supermarket. So this is something that it's interesting for any US supplier looking to export to South America. When we're talking about the consumer-oriented agricultural products, Chile is the second largest in South America. And the third, if we consider total US agricultural products going into Chile, it has ever been very high ranked in easy of doing business in South America, one of the top three countries for facilitation of exporting and doing business in there in general. Okay. Um, Here we see Santiago right in the middle of the country on the picture on your right, and that's where most of the population is. Things to take into consideration into Chile, they have very large supermarkets. There will be all sorts of retail outlets, from the very large ones to the convenience stores. Chile still has the smaller independent mom and pop stores, but the supermarket scenario in Chile, it's pretty well established. It's the headquarters, Santiago is the headquarters of Cencosud. It's the largest food retail corporation in South America. They are all around in South American countries, Peru, Colombia, Brazil, Argentina. And they're even in the US a few years ago, they've purchased Fresh Market in the United States, and their headquarters are in Santiago. We are talking about retailers, but one thing since now that I want to let you know, and you should consider when participating in this mission. Of course, everybody wants to meet the retailers, but distributors are key in Chilean market. Um, so please consider distributors. They will not only take your products into Santiago, but many of them will have capability to spread the product around this vast territory that goes from north to south in South America. Um, Also, food processing industry is well established in Chile, so they about half of the ingredients used are imported. So even though if not the final product, some ingredient from the US will be in there. We know that Chile does not have enough supply enough supply in their food manufacturing facilities to cover all of the demand. So they need to import. The U.S., as we saw by the market share, it's recognized as a reliable supplier. People in Chile, they like US products. They see it as high quality. They come to the US, they like to see the products that they saw in the US, they would like to purchase in Chile. They have that emotional connection also with the United States. So this is something that US is already perceived as a good quality when they see the products in Chile. Also, as any South American countries, the Chilean consumer is price sensitive, okay? But they are also likely to pay higher when they see there's quality, than when they see there's innovation, and they perceive that in the US products. And that's why, again, there's a good share of US products, American products in Chile. Chilean regulation requires labeling of food products. I'm not sure if you've ever worked, whoever is here in this webinar, if you've ever worked with Latin America, but it's pretty common from Mexico down to see those black signs on the front panel of the products. That started in Chile over 10 years ago. So Chile was the first one to introduce that. And that is already into every product in Chile. Stickering is allowed. Many of the importers, or most of them, will sticker themselves in Chile. They high in sugar, high in fat, high in sodium, and so on. Um, More recently, alcoholic beverages also has now a sticker that must be implemented into all bottles of alcoholic beverages. But again, everybody there is already used to. It's the country that has been applying that for the longest so far. Chile also had very good logistics and infrastructure. It's most likely the best for chilled and frozen in in South America, um, from ice cream to cheeses to meats. They get it all from the US and goes into Chile. So uh, it's very interesting also for the chilled and frozen products into there. Some of the products, but not limited to. Okay, so this is important to mention. And from now on, I already tell you if your product's not listed in there, send us a message or actually talk to your liaison and we will check the potential for your product if it's not in there. So you'll see that many of the products, they are good for both retail and food service. So we are talking about alcoholic beverages in general, bakery, all sorts of meats will also go well in Chile. Anything when we were talking about sauces, condiments, go well. Dairy products, from ingredients to cheese. Healthy and natural in general also goes well in Chile. Uh, but this is interesting. Snacks, chocolates, and confectionery also. After so many years, all of those stop signs in the population in Chile, they just don't pay attention anymore to that. So the signs are there, people purchase anyway. If you want a chocolate, why not? If you want a snack, why not? So they will just purchase. So if you see, Chile has a lot of opportunities. So it's a very vast product listing. It goes from retail, food service products, and pet food also in Chile that works well. So this is also something to remember. If you have dog and cat food, especially, Chile already imports from the US, already imports pretty much of their pet food. So there will be opportunities. There are pet food specialized stores in Chile. So this is something to be watching for, and it's a good opportunity. Um, how do we plan this meeting in this mission in Chile? So, what is the itinerary? We suggest everybody arriving in Santiago, Chile on April 14th. It's going to be a Tuesday. Okay. There is, there will be flights arriving from the US very early morning on Wednesday, but we recommend you arrive with it. It's a long flight. Although we are in the same hemisphere, it's a pretty long flight. So let's arrive one day before to be ready for the activities that will start on Wednesday with a market briefing. We invite, as always, the USDA office, the FAS office in Chile. It's pretty active. They help a lot of the US companies and food export. So it's very interesting to have them with us always. We'll do our retail tour in the afternoon, and then on Thursday, it's that pretty intense day. Be prepared. It's meetings, reception, meetings, all at once, all together. It's intense, but we want to make the most of your time while you are in Santiago. We recommend everybody departing on Friday. There are flights from the US all day long, but you can also depart on a late flight to the US on Thursday afternoon. And what should you expect? In case you've never been to a food exports mission, this is what you should expect. Um, First and most important, the one-on-one meetings with the qualified buyers. So we will be vetting those buyers for you. We will be checking if they're interested in your product. So when you meet them, there will be buyers already wanting the product you have to offer. One thing we do down here in Chile is that we talk to each and every, it's not automatic. We really have a meeting with each and every buyer. We talk to them. We make sure that they are looking for your products so that when you meet them, you have already someone that has been pre-vetted, that know what you are selling and is interested in what you are selling. We'll also do the pre-event custom product research so that you can know a little bit about your product into that market. That includes import analysis, that includes a store check. You will be able to know already what is the price of the competition in Chile. Uh, we'll do the market briefing also. This is additionally to the pre-event report. We'll be there with FAS, and it's a moment to while you are already in Chile, answer any questions you may still have before meeting the buyers. We'll go then to the retail store tour. We'll see what kind of products will be there, what will be the competition, so that when you meet the buyers, you know already what is out there. You know already where to take the um, um, uh, where to take the conversation to each direction. Okay. We'll also do a trade reception over lunch. Another opportunity, maybe there will be some buyers, and this happens quite often. There is a buyer that is not interested in your product at that moment, so you won't have a meeting with that buyer, but you have the trade reception lunch to meet that buyer, to talk briefly, and to make a connection, and to make that networking with a buyer, even if you don't have a meeting with that person. So also a good opportunity. We'll have the trade mission brochure, which is also a material that will stay with the buyers, printed for them to consult at any time they need, and have your contact information in there. Of course, you'll have our assistants. We have our teams in Santiago and across South America, and we will be guiding you since the beginning. Once you register, after the registration deadline has passed, we'll be, or near that registration deadline, we'll be scheduling individual meetings, individual kickoff meetings with each and every one of you that registers, so that will set your expectations and know what you want from us, what you want to achieve in Chile, and then start working on the meetings for you and give all of the assistance for that travel, including samples, hotels, and so on. We'll be identifying the top leads, as I've mentioned to you, and we can translate into Chilean Spanish up to 2 pages of marketing material if you wish to take something already in Spanish to them. So, who will be the buyers? Importers in general. So, that could be distributors, retailers, food service operators, and even food processors. So, if you are a company offering ingredients, although this mission is for retail and food service, if you offer ingredients and want to explore Chile, please talk to our liaison. They will check with us. If it is a good potential, we'll let you know, and you'll be welcome in this mission. Also, as I've mentioned, there will be opportunities for pet food companies. So finished pet food treats, they are welcome also in this mission. I want to show you some pictures from last year's 2024 mission to Chile. So starting on the left upper part with our trade reception lunch, then the one-on-one meetings on the right upper part, on the right lower part, the market briefing, and to the left, the retail tour at Jumbo, which is the main brand from Cencosud, which is that largest retail food retail chain in South America. At this meeting, we were accompanied by the import manager of Cencosud, also with all speaking and showing the supermarket with all of our suppliers. Um, so yeah, this is a little bit of what we have from Chile, of course. Um, if you, as I've said again, if you have any questions about your product being fit for that market, the liaison team, it's the best team, and they are here also to help. If needed, they will consult with us and we will check the feasibility or the potential for your product for that market. And I would like to call Kelly to talk a little bit about the details for the registration. Kelly.
So much, Leonardo. This is Kelly speaking from Food Export. I am the International Marketing Program event coordinator for the Focus Trade Mission to Chile. So I would like to let you know about the registration deadlines. The early bird registration is sitting on January 30th of 2026 at the price of $425. And a month later at the standard registration deadline, it is on February 27th of 2026 at sitting at 625. All the information and this recorded sneak peek will be on the website as well if you would like to revisit some of the talking points that Leonardo has spoken this morning. But the registration is always on our event site at foodexport.org. And then passing to the next slide. We would like to open with some of the questions. I've been kind of looking into the Q&A box, but Leonardo, we did have one question for you that is, what are some of the best practices when it comes to meeting with Chilean buyers?
That's interesting. Yeah. Chile, within South America, Chile are the most direct people. Usually the buyers are the most straightforward within South America, but we are in South America. So that's nothing compared with what you'll find locally in the US. You could expect time. Okay. So, for example, from the past trade missions that we had in Chile, the first containers or pallets, they left the US at around 7, 8 months after the mission. So it takes time. Sometimes it takes a year. Relationship is important with those buyers, and as usual in South America, it's interesting because the buyers in South America, they will want to meet the suppliers on a personal level. They will ask personal questions to the buyers about the family, about where to live, what you like to do in your free time. It gets to that point, and it's pretty much based on the individual more than the company itself. So um, it takes time. It's a relationship based. Usually, they will have the decision with other colleagues. So they will talk to you, take to the company the conversation, and that takes time. However, Chile, as I've mentioned in general, Chile, it's pretty easy to do business because of the tax system, because of how everything it's done, or most of the things are done virtually in Chile. But there will be some requirements, phytosanitary or agricultural requirements in Chile. But the importers, they know how to navigate that and how to um, teach or let the exporter know what to do.
Thank you so much. Are there any other questions from today's participants? Leonardo, that got me asking a question from your last point. I know some markets, their primary conversation might be over a WhatsApp more than an email. Some like to do more of a FaceTime, like a video call. How would that be kind of similar with the buyers in Chile, more on a personal talking sense than a professional email?
Yes, so that's a very good question. This is something that we will definitely bring back into the kickoff calls, individual calls with the companies, which is there's an app called WhatsApp. And this is pretty popular down in South America. So you don't have if you don't have that app, we will recommend you downloading before coming into Chile. And the buyers, they will most likely speak through WhatsApp. They will ask questions. They will um, talk to you over there. And what usually happens in Chile is when you have a deal, when you have an agreement to set the terms, they will ask you to send an email. And that will be like more into formalizing the purchase order and the contract and the sale. But most of the conversations will be through WhatsApp.
Thank you so much. Well, Leonardo, I think you did so great that we answered everyone's question through the sneak peek call this morning. But I wanted to give another minute if there's, a struggling question that's in the back of your head. But for the meantime, we have put the liaison contact information up on the screen for everyone to view. Our liaisons are here to help. So am I, and so are the activity coordinators that are sitting on this call today. So as a reminder, the liaisons on the screen are the contact information is there for you. My name is Kelly. I'm working with Leonardo for this mission, and so is Shirley and Cynthia, who'll be there to assist you alongside the way as well. We also have a great service called the Export Navigator. We understand that maybe a question or two might come up even after the mission, following up. You kind of forget how to send the sample to Chile. We're here for you, and that's where the expert navigators can sit down and help you as well. But with that being said, thank you so much for joining us this morning for the Focus Trade mission to Chile sneak peek. Again, the early registration is sitting at the end of January at 4/25. So gives us a little bit of month for you to kind of think about joining us at Chile. So with that being said, I'll see everyone on the floor at Chile. And we'll get started with our year talking with our Chile buyers. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you. Have a great
Leonardo.
day.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.